Hey everybody, welcome to My Green Pets. I'm William Green. You like my new fly catcher? Well, up until about a couple months ago, I didn't have any fungus gnats in here, but I got them. So now I'm trying to get rid of them. I've been spraying insecticide for like 4 weeks, and I'm still seeing them. So I ordered some mites from Arbico Organics that are supposed to eat fungus gnat larvae, so we're gonna see if that works. And then of course I got a trap as well. They are really annoying little creatures. So hopefully, if I'm diligent enough, I can get rid of them. And then I will be very careful next time I decide to welcome new plants into my collection. Alright, I want to look specifically at some roots today because I'm curious what you think, and I'm not quite sure myself. A lot of roots, healthy roots are the key to healthy plants, and especially when you got some really fussy plants. So, I want you to have a look at some of the roots that I've been checking out lately and see what you think. So this more or less is what I think of when I think of a healthy root. The root is long, the green part is long and tapers just at the tip, kind of a uniform tapering, and the tip itself might be a little darker, but overall it's a nice healthy green color. So this is what I want my roots to look like. Now let's look at some roots that don't quite look like this. Alright, here's one. We're going to look at some others, but you can see the tip of the root is not long. It has a kind of uneven taper to it, and the very tip is black. And everything I can find when I research this seems to point to a toxicity issue. There's something toxic to the root that's causing it to grow in this kind of funky way. And clay is a porous material. It does absorb chemicals such as salts. And so the question is, are the clay pots getting to the point now where they are actually becoming toxic to the roots? That's kind of, I really hope not, but that's the working theory. Now, like I said, you can see fungus gnats flying around everywhere. I have been spraying insecticide the past couple weeks to try to kill the gnats, and I'm wondering if that is having more of an effect on the roots than the actual clay pot. I mean, this plant has been in this pot for almost a year. You can see that the roots are still taking to the sides of the pot pretty well. But some of the roots that are just kind of dangling in the air are kind of stubby. And that can also be because of low humidity. There's a lot of possibilities here. Now this guy isn't in a clay pot at all. He's in plastic. And yet his root tips are kind of stubby. No black tip though. Although there is this brown stuff along the length of the root. And again, toxicity, some kind of chemical maybe. Now this one really is a mystery to me because it's got lots of new roots that it's grown out, and yet see the black tips, and also see that speckling all along the root. That's not a healthy root. There's something up. It hasn't been in this pot for even probably 6 months, so the pot's pretty new. So I find it hard to believe that it would already be toxic, but you can see even the new root that just pushed out of that new growth, it's got that speckling and pitting along the sides of it, and then the tip is really stubby and it's got a black tip. When I look deeper in the pot, though, I see some roots that seem to be okay. But still really not a nice smooth shape, really weird shape. Now something I think is kind of weird about these roots is that the ones deeper in the pot sometimes look better than the ones that are coming out of the pot. Try to show you what I mean. If you look, this root, when it was down deeper in the pot, it had that speckling all over it. But now, once it got up past the granite, the root's smooth. The tip still looks a little strange, but it's almost as if something was going on in the pot. I'm not quite sure what it is. Little Bulbo catenulatum is blooming. Got 2 little flowers now. These only last about 3 days. I haven't really gotten my nose up there to try to smell them, but I don't smell anything from back here. Really cute little guy. Lots of spikes too. Pretty easy. I mean, real easy. Just throw them in this container and you just go into town. Still not sure why this Bulbo croceum is losing leaves. I wonder if it has to do with, again, maybe chemicals I've been spraying, or perhaps could be the humidity levels are too low in here. I'm trying to get the humidity back up. Last week I was super excited to show you the spikes on my Clowesia. 1, 2. Really excited about those. But now I have also found a second spike on my Mormodia. So that one is just popping out, and then there's the other one down there you can barely see poking out. And this plant is so dependable. I mean, the leaves yellow and the spikes poke out almost to the same day every year. I was looking at my photos from last year, and the spike from last year was exactly the same size on this day last year as it is this year. You can kind of see a little better down there. And that means that spike's going to take a good 2 months to develop, and we might see our first flower open mid to late December. Alright, well, my experiment for this week is I'm going to water only with distilled water. No fertilizer, no chemicals, no nothing. I'm also going to keep the humidity a little higher. I've been letting it dry out a little bit in here. And that doesn't mean I'm going to water more. I'm just going to keep the tent a little bit more sealed up so the humidity doesn't leak out. And we're going to see if we can get those roots in a little bit better shape. I'm curious what causes that, and I feel like that's something I really need to become more familiar with, is things that can happen to roots and why and how to fix it. So I'll keep you updated on that. Thanks for stopping by and checking out Migraine Pets, and I will see you next week. Bye.